Hold on.
All right, good.
We're recording now.
The future is here. Jonah Tong in the building. Appreciate you taking some time out, man. How we doing?
Of course, anytime. Thanks for having me.
I messaged you the first time, and I'm going to reiterate it again on air. There's an entire generation of Mets fans who haven't seen a World Series for about 40 years now, and we're desperate for one. And you probably, unless things really go well this year, you most definitely will be a part of it. So no pressure.
No pressure at all.
Good answer.
I mean,
Good answer.
like, me and Clem, I'm 40. You're what, 41, 42, Clem?
Yeah, we'll say that area.
Something like that. And so, like, we were alive when the Mets last won, but we don't remember it. And so we call ourselves the what do we say, the worst generation, the unluckiest generation, whatever it is.
Yeah, the worst
people
generation.
saw 69 and 86, and then none of us have. So we're trying to make it to the promised land, and guys like you get us very excited. So we're happy to see you like everything unfolding as it is.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it.
What's that?
He's got so goddamn nice. Jonah's
I know
Canadian.
you're very
He's just
you
so
got the
goddamn
Canadian vibe going. You got that Canadian niceness happening right now.
My question to you, Jonah.
Yeah.
As someone, again, so we're not trying to put the weight of like an entire city on your shoulders and your beautiful arm. But, you know, it's like sometimes maybe it's best that like the kids that grew up in Canada, you know, it's like they didn't grow up maybe as much around this craziness of this fan base as some other guys did. My question is, when did you say, I'm not going to be able to play hockey and I'm going to turn to baseball? Because I feel like that's every Canadian. It's like, all right, I'm going to make my kid a hockey player. So what happened? Did you get like a puck to the face and was like, I'm done with this? Or how did it all happen?
So for me, yeah, my parents thought I was way too small to play hockey. So I like going to like the freshman year of high school, I weighed probably like sub 100 pounds and I was like 4'8".
No way, bro. That's
I
only like a
was
few years
tiny.
ago for you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
It's
did you
not
hit,
too
like, a
far,
crazy
but
growth spurt?
like progressively over high school. So I went from like 4'8" to like 5'6", 5'6" to 5'10", 5'10" to 6 foot, and like I think I'm like 6'1", 6'2" right now. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say. So everybody compares you to Tim Lincecum, right? That's been thrown around a lot, and I can understand why, because you know you kind of got that rubbery arm and the same delivery, but also like 6'1", 6'2" is, you're not like a tiny guy. You know, you might not be bulky, but I mean, in one regard, I like the Tim Lincecum comparisons because that guy was pretty damn good. What do you think of those comparisons?
I love it. I think you can always. I mean, like it's never a bad thing to be compared to a two-time Cy Young winner. So
3-time
like
World Series champion.
like the accomplishments on his career are insane. So like anytime your name gets thrown in with that, you're like, oh, okay. And then your goal, try to hopefully live up to something like that. So
Was that like an intentional? Like, did you model yourself after him, or is it just a natural thing that you guys both kind of look at the same?
I mean, like I always tell the story about how like my dad hated when I threw sidearm, so I used to mess around and throw over top with him. Never noticed it built a pattern, and then now it's evolved into kind of what it is today. I think his name got brought up in like my dad and I's conversations and just like growing up watching and like idolizing guys, but I wouldn't say like he was like the main one we focused on. Like it was just a combination of everything, but he's definitely the one that like I think I clicked with the most.
Did you have anybody that you were modeling yourself after, or like were you just that just you know?
Just trying to be a kid. I think like I think at the end of the day, like when especially like growing up, you just have to be yourself, right? Like I think I tried to model a lot of stuff after different guys like Maddox. Everyone wants to be like him, but throw like Nolan Ryan. I really liked how DeGrom went about his like progression later into his career, where he kind of just looked like he got more effortless, but he threw harder. So I try to like mash all those things together, but then eventually like I just woke up and I was just like, I'm gonna be me, but like try to take influences.
Clem, I don't know about you, but I'll take a combination of Maddox, Lincecum, you know, throw them all together. That sounds good.
Hey, I'm still working on the Maddox part, but and the Nolan Ryan and the DeGrom, but I think we're getting somewhere.
Let me get you with this too, Jonah. And again, Canadian, nice guy. fuck Greg Maddux, fuck the Braves. That's what we say here on this podcast. You have to hate them.
Ground comparisons, yeah.
Just give this guy all old Mets and be like, I got some Rick Reed in here, like that'll make me swoon.
Yeah, before the end of the interview, Jonah, before the end of the interview, we're going to need you to say these words. Fuck Chipper Jones, fuck the Braves, fuck the Yankees. We won't clip it and put it out on social, I promise.
I can't say that because I met Chipper and he was an awesome guy.
No. The interview's over. Goodbye.
He was a good guy. I can't. Great manager too for the one day. Great guy.
Yeah.
Can't.
Are you prepared for this type of fan base? Like, I'm very honest about our fan base. It can be tough. We're like the best in the world, and we will love you to death. And then like you give up 4 runs in 5 innings, and people are like, "Get this guy out of here!" Or there's a lot of hate with the Phillies and the Braves and the Yankees. Are you ready for that sort of toxicness? To be honest,
I honestly think I never really noticed it, especially coming from Canada, but it's very similar to the Leafs fan base. In the sense that it's intense, it's on you. They love you, they'll hate you. But at the end of the day, they're so, I don't know what the word for it. The love for the game is just well, I was gonna go with the love for the game is just so high, but every year everybody wants to win a championship, right? So it's natural. I fully understand that. And I'm honestly for it. I love how fiery our fan base gets. And honestly, again, New York's always felt like home. Whether they love you or hate you, it's something truly special, and you just gotta love to be a part of it.
There's something about the Mets fans. Like we always say, Bartolo Colon was a guy who played for a dozen teams. But when he was on the Mets, he became big sexy and became this, social media sensation because we know the guys to embrace, and there's nicknames and superstitions and all this sort of stuff. And it does seem to be like a little bit, I'm sure everybody says this about their fan base, but I really do believe Mets fans, when they're being good, they're very different. They're very knowledgeable. They notice what's going on. So as long as you're perfect and flawless, we'll love you, dude.
Perfect. I'll do my best.
We'll grasp the good things too. Because listen, that was the old Mets fans, the Uncle Stevie, Cohen era Mets fans. We're much better. We love Grimace. We made Grimace, who was kind of like the number 2 to Ronald. We made him the number 1 guy in New York. That counts for something, right? That counts for something.
For sure.
In Canada.
Hey, honestly, I never knew what Grimace was until like last year, so it was kind of funny.
What, do they not have McDonald's in Canada?
They did, but I never really like understood what it was. I always knew Ronald McDonald, and that was it.
I guess when you're trying to be a major league player, you don't eat McDonald's. I don't know.
Yeah, you're also dealing with a cat.
I can't say that.
He's a baby, Kev. Like, he probably like saw Tim Lincecum like through videos. Like, he's like, I never got to see Tim.
Yeah,
Lincecum
I know.
He's a baby up there.
Very
I forget
accurate.
how young you are, man. What year were you born? You're born in
2003.
2003. You were born?
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's crazy when I hear those things. Like, obviously, I know your age, so I can do the math, but hearing it out loud is just nuts, man. That is crazy. Are you like, were you a diehard baseball fan? Like, are you like you know old players and like know the history, or you just kind of like as you grew up, you watched it like a normal person?
As I grew up, I kind of watched it, got into it a little bit. Again, you're gonna hate me for saying this because I've said this a few times. I was a Braves fan growing up. Okay, I like the colors. Mike Soroka was a really I would say like influential player just because he was Canadian growing up and played for them.
All right, I'll give you that. He's representing his country, Clem.
That's our new favorite team. Everyone knows that. I think it's really easy to say that. I my old ways, but I'd say like it wasn't always the biggest thing in Canada, but like I think the most fun times of baseball were when like the Jays were getting into it with the Orioles during their wild card series when they brought in like David Price and Josh Donaldson and Tulowitzki and everybody. Like that's when I kind of like was like, oh, this is awesome. But I think it's grown over the years.
That Joey Bats home run and bat toss is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
I honestly think the Encarnacion one was better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of set them there. Yeah, that to me was like my favorite home run from that series, but like the most iconic one is Batista for sure.
Well, now forget about all that. It's now Mets only. In a perfect world, you're on this team until you're in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Like long.
This is how I'm going to spin zone the Brave thing too. Because listen, everyone has different fans, and when you become a member of the team, I imagine all that stuff is just gone. this will hurt them even more, knowing that he was a Braves fan. Like,
yeah,
this guy he was one of us growing up. That's how I'm going to spin.
Could have been ours.
And he's like I said, Canadian. It's kind of a neutral zone. You pick up whatever team you're going to be, which brings me to my next question. The nickname Canadian Cannon, is that just something you've had, that nickname? I stumbled upon it today.
So funny enough, our booster club here in Binghamton surprised me with t-shirts. And they just said, hey man, we just want to show you something. We're really excited about these, and then pulled them out. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty sick. That's really cool. So funny enough, I think we just got our entire team them, which I think is even cooler.
So that's like a thing. That's going to be like the real. I wasn't sure if
it's
that
a
was a real
thing now.
Yeah,
it's a thing now.
Fire.
All right, the Canadian Cannon.
We're making t-shirts tomorrow. Let's go. So, are you aware of how unbelievably awesome Steve Cohen is and what it's going to be like to play for that owner?
You know, having been here when he got in, I think, or just before, or just after, sorry, and hearing about the experiences from people who've been in the org for a long time, it's really hard to deny how much of an impact he's had. It's given us confidence as players, the resources that we have, the staff that we always bring in. Like, again, I've said this, and I mean it. Like, I think we have some of the best player development in all of baseball, if not the best. Not just because of like tools and gadgets and stuff like that, but it's the people that they bring in, it's the family that they fostered. Like, it's unbelievable. And every time everyone comes in, they always say the same thing. So, although everybody has their own experiences, but mine's nothing but.
We as fans always hear and always joke about the pitching lab. We hear about the pitching lab nonstop. What exactly is the pitching lab? Because I've heard about the gadgets and the machines, and I'm sure there's coaches, but like I say it all the time, and I don't know really what it is. What is the pitching lab?
So it's essentially like this magic room that when you go in, I'm just kidding. It's kind of like this. It's who has a place called Driveline has a really good example of one where it's just a bunch of cameras. There's a mound and there's a bunch of tech that I have no idea what it does. I'm just told to walk in there, throw, and then we'll talk about it later. So like from a data standpoint, there's people who take care of that, and then from our our perspective, it's everything that you'd need from a analytics standpoint. It's what it kind of helps you with, which I think is really cool. I think there's definitely going to be some benefits for a lot of people, and it's just a really exciting thing to have.
Have you seen anything that like did anything from the lab change your delivery, decide your pitches, like anything like a tangible change, or are you just kind of using it to your benefit?
I think it's a really good tool to see how you're doing year after year. For instance, when you can see when you're doing really well, like last year, we were able to take some things from the year prior where it's like, okay, you've made this change naturally over time. I have heard of people who have just like found a switch or like they were able to break down their mechanics a little bit and, tap into some extra velo or stuff like that. So
love hearing that.
I want you to be honest about this. And again, if you don't want us to post it or, keep it in, we'll take it out.
Oh wait. Yeah. Before you ask, I just want to make that clear. If there's anything you don't want in this, or, we can edit however you want, but
perfect.
Do you ever just like go to your highlights on social media and just laugh at a pitch you did, be like, what the hell? Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, if I throw a wiffle ball that curves a little, I am like, oh my God, I am a god. The stuff you do, I would just be watching it on loop. I put it on I'd like do a little airplay to the big screen and just watch like my highlights. Like, I laugh when I watch your stuff. The man who throws that, do you do the same thing? Like occasionally, maybe just like one nice pitch that you remembered?
From like I guess our internal database, I'll take a look at it here and there. I do think it's funny when I'll just get like tagged in something and I'll take a look at it and like that was a pretty good one. The ones that have been really rewarding are like the new changeup I've added. So they're pretty cool to watch and see a pitch that I don't think I've ever had a pitch that moved arm side. So
that's great.
But
I love hearing that.
The
guy's adding to the repertoire. Let's go.
Hey man.
Speaking of your perfect game, and I'm just going to call it a perfect game because there's no doubt in my mind you would have finished it off. The team finished it off anyway. Perfect through 6 2/3 with like 13 or 14 strikeouts, whatever it was. That's got to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. I honestly didn't know I had it until the seventh, which I think is funny because I had like 11 or 12 pitches left in my pitch count, and I was just on the mound. I was digging out my spot, and I look at to see where I'm at in the lineup on the scoreboard, and I was like, okay, no hits, no runs, doing
What?
really well so far. Did I have a walk at all? And the minute I thought that, I'm like, oh crap, I think I have something really good going on. And then immediately after that, I go full count, extra pitches in between, pulled from the game. So I people blamed our manager, and I felt so bad for that because like at the end of the day, I technically did have the opportunity. I just wasted my pitches, but it was the right decision.
I mean,
It was the right decision.
You're a good guy for taking responsibility and not putting it on your coach, but I wouldn't beat yourself up over full counts in a perfect game. Those are allowed, dude. Those are allowed. It's okay. But that is an interesting question. Like that has kind of become a thing in baseball in recent years where, pitch counts and Tommy John and all that, and there's too much money floating around. But then the fans and some of the talking heads are like, you're taking away chances for records and accolades and all that. Like, what do you think of that? And if you were allowed to, would you have just kept going, or are you thinking more about your future?
I mean, I don't think any player is going to tell you they didn't wish they finished the game, because once you go into it, you always want to finish it. You don't want to you want to take the stress off your bullpen. You want to take the stress off your manager to just in case there's situations that, happen. And you want to always feel in control of it. But at the end of the day, no, because I think, especially in the position I'm at right now, it's like there's so much ahead of us that I don't want to have to worry about if I did something in pitch 103, or if that goes to a 20 pitch at bat too. I know that's crazy talk, but that's 120 pitches at that point.
Right.
That's a lot. Now, do I think I would have been able to handle it? Sure, but the risk to reward ratio is just it's up there. But I get it as a fan. If I was sitting in the stands and I saw that, I was like, oh, that's how do you do that? It's just things we don't see. And as
also,
fans, it's hard.
Those same fans would be, crying in their cereal if you got Tommy John the next day. So you do have to, I remember Johan Santana threw 134 pitches, Clem. It was something crazy for his no-hitter. And it was the first one in the franchise, and we loved it. And then he was really never the same after that. Granted, now that's the end of his career, whereas you're just beginning. But, it's easy to just say, how do you take him out? But when you're running $1 billion corporation and you have millions of dollars on the line, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All the love for the good people of Binghamton and St. Lucie and Brooklyn and Syracuse. I want to see Jonah Tong throw a perfect game in Queens. And that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
So whatever he has to do to make sure that happens.
That's what Reed told me right after the game. He's like, hey man, I know it's not Reed, it's fine. I really, to be honest with you, wasn't that upset. And he's just like, yeah, but just want to let you know, if you're in the big leagues, very different story. They're probably going to send you out for the last AB. I'm like, perfect.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
But wait, so this is interesting. You mentioned, you said I had 11 pitches left or whatever. So when you're starting these days, they give you a number and you're aware of it and you're keeping track. You look at the scoreboard, or is it in your mind when you're pitching? I only have.
Ironically, only that game. Just because I was we get a rough estimate before, hey, you have this amount of pitches for the day. This is what your range is. Go out there, do your thing. And I just think it's just nice to keep track of where you're at. It's just making sure we're being efficient. Because for me, my goal is always to get past the fifth inning. Can do that, I'm happy. So at that point, I was just looking at, I'm like, wow, I'm really close to career high in innings. I have 11 pitches to work with here. Let's see if I can get it. And then I just got nonstop chirp from the rest of our starters because they've all went 7 innings before. And then, yeah.
Did you hear that, Kev? He wants to get past the 5th inning. This guy could have a future in Flushing here. I'll really appreciate that.
I mean, I'm an old man, and I just remember the days of complete games and everybody going 7, and it's just not how it is anymore. So get me to the 6th, and I'm happy too these days. That's the name of the game, which is, is how it goes, I guess.
Hey, if you can take stress off your bullpen, it's always a good thing.
That is the name of the game, man. Our bullpen right now in the big leagues is they're great, but they get put in these situations sometimes where it's what do you want them to do? You're coming in the 4th inning. So I'll hear you on that. It's all connected.
you were discussing about different teammates in the minors and whatever, and I know you had Sean Mania down there recently, and I saw the clip you saying you beat him in Super Smash Brothers. So this is probably going to be the second biggest question I ask you: who's your Smash brother, and then most importantly, who's your Mario Kart character?
Ooh, are we doing the new Mario Kart or like the original?
Yeah. Let's go classics. Let's go with the
64,
classic.
Okay. Or I mean,
actually,
for him?
Maybe you're too young. I don't know. Like maybe you didn't even play with that.
So in every Mario Kart game, I'm always Bowser. I think he's a great character. In Smash Bros, I'm a Bowser main and I'm a Mega Man main. So
wow.
Did you ever play actual Mega Man or just use him in Smash Bros?
Just use him in Smash Bros. I had it on like my Nintendo DS when I was younger. I just never played the game.
It's fire for an old man. It's great. I'm sure. Registered you, but Bowser. I don't think I know anybody who says Bowser's my Mario Kart guy.
I feel like
the new one. He's special, man.
Yeah. As a bigger guy, I always go with the little guys, and he's a skinnier guy, so he's going with the big. We're just kind of living each other's life here. I'm a Yoshi guy. Bowser, I kind of like that though. Bowser people, when someone chooses Bowser, you're like, I'm in for hell right now because this guy knows what they're doing. Because if you get hit with Bowser, you're starting slow. You got to work your way back up. It's a whole thing. But you're also throwing bows on people with Bowser.
Yeah.
Better handling too. He's a heavier character.
That's the other thing.
This guy's thinking about the mechanics. It's all about the mechanics.
It's all about the mechanics.
Are you a big gamer? Are there other games you play?
I dabble here and there. Like I tried getting to the show this year and it's awful. I think my record's like I have a 250 win percentage in that game right now. Like it's embarrassing. My real 99 has a 12 ERA, so it's just tough.
What's harder, pitching in real life or pitching in the show?
Pitching the show has been tough. It's been really tough because it seems like every time I get into like the second inning, it's just like, I think there's a new Carlos Beltran comes up to bat and he hits a 700-foot homer off me and it's a grand slam, and I'm just like, all right, I just want to quit. What other games did I play? Played a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege. That's pretty much it. And then after that, I've just been watching TV shows and movies.
What TV shows you watch?
It's been a lot of everything. Reacher has been a really good one. That's the one I've been watching lately.
Are you have you gone back? I mean, because of your age, you probably were not, watching television shows like this, but have you gone back and watched, the Breaking Bads and The Wire and Sopranos and any of that stuff, or is it all new shows?
Sopranos, yes, phenomenal TV show. Haven't watched The Wire. Everyone keeps telling me to do it, and then I've seen pretty much enough clips from social media and I guess anywhere else about Breaking Bad that I think I have a good grasp.
Oh no, you gotta watch the whole thing, bro. You can't get it from clips.
I know, but like part of me goes like, I know what's gonna happen. Like I know about
I
know about the rice and cigarettes. Like I know everything about that.
What's a typical like off day, rain out, after the game? Like what do you and you alone and you with your teammates, what are you guys doing?
Me alone, probably just go back to the calling family, calling my girlfriend, and then playing video games, maybe cooking here and there.
Oh, you're a cooker, huh? What do you cook?
I cook a lot of steak, and I'm a very good grilled cheese. I make a very good grilled cheese.
Oh, that's fighting words. You better back it up if you say you can make a good grilled cheese.
I have a lot of secret ingredients that I can't share, and it's
give me one. You don't have to go the whole recipe, but give me one thing that's a little different about your grilled cheese.
Maple syrup.
Whoa! Most Canadian thing ever uttered.
Yeah, for real. Like, what don't you put maple syrup on in Canada?
That could work. I can see how that could work.
I can see that working for sure.
Gotta give it a shot.
I'm calling it now. July 28th, 2025. Jonah Tong's gonna have a restaurant in whatever the next city field is. Like post-playing career, he's gonna have that little restaurant, the grilled cheese corner.
If City smart, they should put a Jonah Tong grilled cheese on the menu as soon as he's up.
I love it.
I'll fund the maple syrup.
I've always wondered.
Yeah.
Are you watching when you get drafted to the Mets? You said you were a Burns fan before, but once you're on the team, do you start watching them and take an interest, or is it just like, this is my job and I'll play for them one day? But are you watching the guys? Did you watch, 24 or, the playoff run and all that stuff?
I think it's kind of funny because like before getting drafted, like I'd say I was like a fan of the Braves, but like I never really watched them. I only watched players I liked who were pitching. So like that's why I guess I'd say Braves fan because Mike Soroka was
that
there.
makes sense. They both got good pitching.
So because I just respect the art of pitching. So I'd watch a few Mets games here and there, but when I got drafted, never. I was like, oh, this is cool. Everyone's trying to get there, absolutely build a culture. But then going through like spring training after spring training, and like kind of growing with the guys who you just now like. I was sharing a locker with some of them, and now they're on the big stage making an impact. So definitely like over time, I've definitely like had a bigger following just because it's like, oh, like these are my friends who are now making their debuts, and like I care about them as humans off the field as well as respect them on the field. Like that part,
who
yeah. And then
that you were playing with that made it up.
So the first one that like I guess met and like kind of hung out with was Christian Scott. Dabbled with him a little bit. Seeing him make his debut was crazy. Blade Tidwell a little bit. Pintaro was the new one this year, and Alex Carrillo because we were teammates on the same team. But yeah, it's just cool watching guys that make an impact. And obviously when you guys get coming through rehabs and like stuff like that, like seeing them and on a day-to-day basis, like Manai, amazing dude, amazing human. So like I have a lot of empathy and like respect for that. So
they really do seem like a good group. They seem like all good guys. It's not like a clubhouse cancer or a scandal or anything like that. They're all just seem to be. It's very different from years gone by where we always had something to worry about. It seems like Lindor and those guys are really like running a good operation.
For sure, absolutely.
Now you have guys like you have your Jet Williams, Ryan Clifford, Carson Bang, and all like. Those guys are now potentially, along with you, people are thinking the next step going up to the big leagues. When like the top prospects list comes out, does anyone do you guys, you got to look, you got to at least just look, see if you got you on there. And then if any of your buddies are on there, you guys have to take a look, right?
I mean, everybody knows about it. There'd be sometimes we'll go through the locker and just trip around about it. But I mean, some people care about it more than others. I'd say from our perspective, it's not as big as everybody thinks it is, like a deal wise, because at the end of the day, like we're all still teammates. We're gonna hang out regardless. Like to us, it doesn't really matter as much as I guess it seems. I don't know if that's a bad way to put it,
I'm gonna put you to the test on that one then. What are you ranked right now?
Dependent. That's different on other publications. So that's I can't say.
Media trained already. What a job. What a job.
Perfectly in New York.
Speaking of that though, do players like obviously you got to prepare physically to play the game, but is there something the organization does or you do that's like, here's how you're going to handle the media and the fans? Because in New York, it matters more than anywhere,
I mean, when we were drafted, we all sat down and it's like, hey, you're going into one of the most brutal, ruthless, loving, hateful sometimes, amazing like fan bases that you'll ever meet, and they will be so critical of you, good or bad. Like we had some former like guys who in our system come tell us like, hey, like after my first game I pitched really well and they told me they loved me. There was like hundreds of DMs saying that, and then the next day some of them were like, hey, go kill yourself, I can't believe you did that. And I'm just like, that's intense. It's intense. But like I wouldn't say that like I think I get a bad rep. I don't think everybody's like that. I do think it's just because they're so passionate. And again, all respect for that. But yeah, there's definitely going to be some training eventually about that.
Oh, so you haven't done anything like that? You're just kind of like aware of it, but they don't like sit you down?
I just go with the flow of things and just smile and say hi and just try to be as open and respectful as possible.
There you go, man. I would say this as someone, I'm not like in the media, but we cover the team and like I'm very aware of how social media works. I think it would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, Clem, I think if someone was like actually really honest, like and genuine, like if you have a bad start, you're just like, that fucking sucked. Sorry to the fans. Like it kills me just as much as it kills you. I can't believe I gave up that home run. Fuck. Like I think fans would be more receptive of that than sometimes the canned answers or lying when we know, I felt great out there. I just made a couple bad pitches. Like, no, I stunk today. And I think that's sort of, in years gone by, I would have said, just don't even have social media. That's just not an option in the modern world. So you gotta. But if you're going to be on it, I think you gotta just be real about it. And also those DMs are like, it's a small minority, but the fan base is millions of people. So a small minority is like 10,000 people tell you to kill yourself. So it's hard to separate that. But I don't know, Clem, do you think that would work? I'm waiting for the first athlete to just be like, I'm just like you guys, man. I'm like, I feel it. I get it. This sucks. And don't lie about it.
It would be awesome. I will say that. But at the same point, like, you're going to have the haters. No matter. I have a tweet that is getting this much traction. Like, just not by any means viral, but it has LeBron tagged in it. And the amount of stuff that I'm getting tagged in that these people are saying to LeBron James, I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't even imagine being this guy's mentions or DMs for just like a minute, let alone for every single day. And then when you're coming up and you're younger kid going up and you're trying to get better and get bigger and just this is your job. I think Kev, we see it with our jobs in a different respect. And even though like someone like me who's pretty nice and low key and doesn't get everyone gets hate. I can't imagine what these guys have to deal with. But at the same point, that's kind of why it's just like, just go canned, just be yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm probably giving you bad advice, but I just like, we love it when you're being honest about good things, and then you have to like lie about the bad things. I just think, maybe the fans aren't ready for that yet. But actually, the sickest part of all this is like, I hate to say this, but it's almost the goal to get to that level where people are, you know what I mean? That means you're like a star. That means people are watching and you're playing well. And like, if they even care or know you on social media, it's probably because you're, a big contributor and, these couple starts you did bad or whatever. So it kind of comes with the territory, but I would almost say that is as important for your career longevity to be able to do that as it is to be able to throw, which is sick to say, but mentally and emotionally, this town is just as hard as throwing 100 pitches.
Exactly. I think like a good example of that would just be like, I mean, he's obviously one of the greatest pitchers in the game right now, but it's like Paul Skeens, right? Like he's very blunt, very open about it. He's like, yeah, like I just didn't do it today. Gotta be.
And
better.
You know what? I think when you're a talent like you guys are, you can say that because like tomorrow, next start, you probably will. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
If you got the goods to back it up, it goes a long way. Obviously, that's the understatement of the century. But
I will say this too, like as someone that I see whenever they interview you and SNY post clips or whatever, it's you being yourself, and it's just you can just tell when someone's being themselves. And I do think I pray to God I have kids that are. I mean, my kids are closer to his age than
Yeah, I know. I was doing that in my head. I was like, shit.
It's not even close. It's disgusting. But I do think, and I hope this is the case. Like the internet. Kev, you say we're the greatest generation. We remember life before the internet, and then it came, and now we're in life after the internet. I do think at some point there's going to be a correction, and I do feel like Jonah's generation, and then as they get younger, they're just nicer to each other.
I hope
more
so.
People act like Jonah. I hope so. At least that's the case. I don't know what's going on in the DMs and in the mentions, but it just seems like you guys are nicer towards each other, where we were growing up in the DX suck it era where everyone was crotch chopping their teachers and stuff like that. So it's a much different world for us growing up than it is.
Were you ever a wrestling fan, Jonah?
No, going back to the small kid thing, like I just was looking at things like I could just never do that. I do kind of like from wrestling side. Are we talking like WWE or like actually? Like
yeah. Well, either.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
I've been getting a little bit more into like MMA, so obviously the UFC is a big one. I think that's a really cool sport. And then obviously you see things here and there with WWE. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I'm always curious to see it.
I'm going to do a couple more baseball questions, and then we're going to hit you with some rapid fire, just preferences and things you like. When do you think you'll be up in the show? And don't give me a canned answer. I want a real one. You're going to say, I'm just going to go out there and do my best, and I'm waiting for the.
I'm going to give it to you.
No.
I'm going to give it to you. Are you ready? Here it is.
Yeah, here it is.
I'm going to focus on the only thing that I can actually control, which is just being a good teammate, going out there, trying to help the team win. When that time comes that I don't have a choice over, I'll be ready for it. I think that's the best way to go about it. I think that if you ask 95% of the guys, 100% of the guys are probably going to give you the exact same answer. And it's just because of the truth, right? Like, I mean, everyone wants to be a big leaguer, and everyone has their own timeline, and everyone like everybody's different. That's the beauty of it. So I know you hate that. I know that's not exactly what I want to hear, but
No, but
it's the
it's
only
true
thing I
though.
can
It's
really
like anything
focus
in
on.
life. You know, you can only control what you can control. But here's another question that you're going to lie to me about. If you got the call today and they were like, we need an arm, we're calling you up, would you be ready to pitch in the big leagues?
I think everybody in their families would say yes. It's everything you could possibly think of. Um, Absolutely. If you had asked me last year, I probably would have said no, just because
Okay.
like I needed some things to work on. And I think as I've gone through this year and like the off season and just like where I'm at mentally, I think we're in a way better spot than we were last year.
That's actually that's a real answer. I could, last year, no, this year I'd be ready. I love that.
To be fair to Jonah too, like if you told me I could go up to the big leagues, I could give you a pitch. I'm going to tear my rotator cuff just trying to get it to the plate and over the plate.
What I'm saying. Okay, everybody can realistically do it. Just saying.
Technically could, yeah.
Grimace did it. Hatua did it. They did it for us.
Taylor Lewan did not do it, but that's okay.
Taylor Lewan did not do it.
Did the futures game like change your perception of things? Were you like looking around being like, I really belong here? I know you had like a clean inning. Like, did that impact you in any way?
I just thought it was really cool to be under the same, I guess, stage as some of the best talent on baseball, especially like from like in your case, prospect rankings and stuff like that. Like, it was really cool to see how they go about their business and just compete. We had a lot of really good coaches, especially that have a lot of experience. So it was really cool to pick their brains. Really cool event. It just kind of gave me the same perception that we're all playing the same game, right? We're all as talented as each other. We just need to go out there and play.
And what a crazy game it is, man. I was watching the Tigers game the other day. I was on at the bar, and I was watching. They put a position player in to pitch. And, I think he gave up like a hit or two, but got out of the inning. And he's just up there throwing like knuckleballs. And it's like, and then there's guys like you who are like, I'm trying this is my craft. This is my thing. And you might get knocked around in an inning. It's like such a stupid game that can happen.
Hey, that's how beautiful it is, right? Like,
I know. That's what I love.
You just have all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah. Clem, any more baseball questions, or I'm going to fire away with some of these other ones?
No, I got one. That's not baseball, and then I'll let you drive the rest of it, Kev. I saw during my research that you're a Clutch client. Where is LeBron going this year? And is he going to the Nuggets next year?
LeBron's going to the Nuggets. I mean, you don't post that picture just like for fun. You're at least making a statement.
Hey, for sure. Like I wish I had all the knowledge you would do. Trust me. Like if I could go meet him right now, I absolutely would. I think it'd be crazy not to meet one of the greatest players to ever do it. Some would even say the greatest to ever do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's insane. I
Jonah
I wish I knew.
LeBron guy. He hates MJ. Here we go. Here's the video. Are you besides MMA? Are you into NBA, NFL, like anything else?
Hockey. Who's your hockey team? Are you a Maple Leafs guy?
Yeah, I'm a Leafs guy. I'm a very depressed Leafs guy.
Don't you say that. We are brothers through another sport, mother. Like I don't know how to like. Everything you said about the Leafs, I now feel like you're more prepared to be a Mets fan after hearing about your Leafs fandom. Like you said, passionate, broken inside, the good, the bad,
over the hump.
Yes. Yep. Oh, this is our guy.
I'm telling you, you're cut from the right cloth, man. We're gonna send you over to Spit and Chicklets. You can talk with those guys about the Leafs for days.
Biz, you can just cry in each other's soup. It'd be great.
I just wish that the whole Marner thing worked out. Like it's had a beautiful concept in my head this past year where I was like, they're gonna do it, it's gonna be awesome. Then I realized it's just the same thing after every year. But
he's our guy. I mean, that's what I've said a million times.
Hear me out. McDavid's coming home.
Oh,
McDavid's coming home.
Oh, you think so?
Yep. Saying it. Putting it now.
I don't know enough.
Newmarket guy, Ontario guy, Toronto. That's all I'm gonna say.
You think they would ever let him go? You don't think they would just back up the Brinks truck and give him whatever it takes?
I think it'd be really, advantageous of him to seek, see what's out there on the market, just like entertain stuff. He's going to get some ridiculous offers and then bam, Leafs.
All right, we're going to send Biz and Jonah on like a 2-man trip to go, recruit him to figure it out.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
All right. These are just some like off the field type questions, personality questions. I'll rip them quick. What is your post-game meal, or if you're doing like a cheat day and you're just like when you don't have a care in the world, you're eating dessert, you're stuffing your face, whatever it is. What's like your guilty food?
Ooh, strawberry shortcake.
That's a unique answer. And what?
Yeah, and Culver's.
What's Culver's?
Oh, Culver's. Oh, Kev.
Do I not know?
Whoa. You don't know what Culver's is?
That's more Midwest
the
than
greatest
South.
butter burger and all. Whoa. So if you ever go, yeah, it's a really good, like, it's like a fast food chain. It's really good.
Yeah. I'm looking it up now. Are these in New York, Clem? I don't leave New York.
So I learned about them from the Chicago guys. They have cheese curds where they fry up little like cheddar nuggets, and then it's a dairy. They're big into their dairy.
I was gonna say, what's a butter burger? They just put butter on a burger?
It's butter. It's a burger made in butter. Made with butter.
Stupid question. That's a dumb question by me.
I have no idea, but it's really good.
That's funny. How about what sport do you think you could dominate or succeed in other than baseball?
If there was a sport for being a water boy, I'm your guy. Like I could be your starting, starting left bench water boy. Just saying. I'm gonna go with that.
As you mentioned, bench. I remember. I think I topped out in baseball in 8th grade. It's like great in Little League, and then as everybody got good, I was not. But I maintain that being on a baseball bench is more fun than playing the game of baseball. I had a blast on the bench, and every time I'd be standing out there in the outfield, I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm in the dugout, like eating food, cracking jokes with the boys, doing pranks. I feel like the baseball bench is one of the funnest places in the world.
It's awesome. I feel like you great dugout vibes, especially one where like your team's winning. There's nothing better than having a really fun dugout.
And it's kind of unique for pitchers, for starters, right? Because you're like, I don't got anything to do tomorrow, or like I'm not going. When you have that break in between starts, is it like, I'm sure there's a regiment, bullpen sessions, yada yada, but is there some sort of like, an everyday player? There's a lot of position to play every single inning. So are you kind of like, all right, I did my job for the day, I'll be back in 5 days?
No, you still gotta hang out with the guys. I mean, it's a team game. It's fun when you only really have to, like, I guess you build your schedule for that one day. But then you get to watch free baseball.
I was gonna say, you're just like, you got the best seat in the house, just watching the game that we love.
Exactly, and you're invested in everybody that's doing it too. Like, you always want to be there for your guys.
You're with your boys. That's what it's. It seems to be when athletes retire, they all miss the camaraderie. They're like, I miss the locker room. I miss that stuff. Which takes me, Kevin. I just got to piggyback off your question. I always love asking this to like ball players. When did you know, like in like grade school, like, hey, I could maybe take the next step here?
I'm better than all you.
I didn't. I thought I was going to college, and I was fully okay with that. And then the day before the draft, I got a call saying like I was going to go to the Mets, I could have had the option. Like there's some things in the mix, and I was just like, oh, like this could actually be a possibility. So no, I didn't really think anything like that. Honestly, like in high school, I kind of got shelled here and there. So I was like, dang,
really?
Am I just not that good? Like, am I just not good?
So you're telling me there's some like
I was above average.
Guy
above
being
average.
Like, I knocked that dude around. I hit dingers off that guy.
So he's in pro ball right now. He's with the Brewers, but this guy named Dylan O'Ray is like, I played him growing up for like 4 years straight, and he has a career 700 off me with a few pumps. Yeah, it's insane.
Okay, well, we'll try to avoid that guy.
Yeah, tell Mendoza, if you're running out of gas and Dylan O'Ray's on deck, we're going to the bullpen.
That's a good one. Wait, by the way, let me just ask you this. So the day before the draft, where were you going to go? You're going to go where to college?
I was going to go to North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, right? Okay. So the day before, they say, we think the Mets will draft you. Like, I mean, obviously anybody could have taken you. Like, how did you know you were going to going to go to the Mets?
I didn't know about the Mets until like the actual day of. There were some other teams in the mix because just not like over scouting journey, I guess. But yeah, I didn't really know. I had a really good relationship with the area scouts named Marlon McPhail. I think he's the cross checker for Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida area. I could be botching that. He's probably gonna he know a little bit more, but I had a really good relationship with him. I honestly thought he was like it kind of felt like family, if that makes sense. Like the conversations were really easy, really nice, and it just kind of felt like I was just getting advice through life, which was beyond baseball, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I would also say that everything I've seen, at least as a fan, the Cohens, like the family is a big element. You know, they had the sit down dinner with Juan Soto and all of his family, and like, you know, they really welcome you as like a person, not just a player. So if that's what you value, you are in the right place, brother. They are awesome owners.
Absolutely.
What's the weirdest DM you've ever received? Anything jump out at you?
I haven't got anything that crazy yet. I guarantee you there are gonna be some weird ones. But some of them are just like, "Hey man, I love you," and then it'll just be like, "No, I love you. I love you."
I would say that though. Like, I would do that.
I'm like, "Oh, thanks. Like, appreciate it." And there'll just be some odd ones that are like the most cryptic thing of all time, and I'll just be looking at them like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at?
I listen, like
probably,
I said, in a modern era, you can't be off the internet. It's probably best to stay out of your DMs. Those are going to get weird. That's going to get a little crazy when you get called up. If you could have one unfair pitch, you know, like a video game slider or like the ghost fork or the invisible ball or the gyro ball, like if you could have one unhittable pitch, what do you think it would be?
I mean, there are a couple really good ones. I mean, Class A's cutter is unbelievable. It's 102, and it's one of the hardest pitches in all of baseball. Senga's ghost fork is up there. It fit really well with my arsenal just because of how it goes. I would honestly go like Randy Johnson's heater. I know it's a lefty, but like how the big unit throwing is just a thing of its own. I think his mound presence is insane.
I don't know how anybody ever got a hit off of him. You know, that angle, that height, that speed. We were just talking about him before you joined the show. Like what was the question, Clem? Would you rather have Pujols as a hitter or Randy Johnson on your team as a pitcher?
For the whole career.
Ooh, like on my team?
Yeah.
Randy Johnson. That's not even a question. Wow. You know, Pujols is one of the greatest of all time for sure, but I don't think I've ever seen a more scary and intimidating pitcher than Randy Johnson and have his, you know, the success he's had.
Did you ever see the probably like 93 All-Star game with John Kruk in the box? He turned his helmet around.
And then what? Did he throw it over his head?
He was and then he switched over like outside the box. That was unbelievable. By the way, while we're just talking about other players, like we didn't really touch much on the actual Mets. I don't want to say fan because these guys are like your peers at this point. But is there anybody on the team that you like look up to or admire their game, pitching and position player?
Ironically, for sure, everybody on the big league club because that's where you want to be. But for me, it's honestly a lot of the minor league guys. Like I do admire like Christian Scott a lot, especially just his journey and you know how he got to big leagues and the kind of human he is. So he's definitely an idol of mine, which is kind of weird seeing he's probably a good friend of mine. But from a hitter, I mean, it's really easy to stay there. I think what he does, Lindor, I think it's really easy to say that. I think he's going to be a pretty easy first ballot Hall of Famer at the end of his career. And just the way he handles love, hate, you know, it's unbelievable.
I was going to say, when it comes to the media training, you know, listen to the team and the consultants and all that, but go right to Francisco Lindor and what Juan Soto went through for like the first month. Like I try my best to rail against those fans because it's just like you're talking about absolute bona fide Hall of Famer immortals and people are like giving up on them after a month or even a season. It's hard to watch, but those guys handle it with grace and class, like better than anybody. So take a page out of their book. You'll be in good shape.
I'll try.
Are you familiar with Frank the Tank by any chance?
Yes, because I'm like 99% sure. I don't think it's confirmed yet, but I'm going on a walk with Frank at some point.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. Frank, I mean, by the way, has lost legitimately over 200 pounds. He is
it's crazy. I like seeing him from like his first video to his most recent one is insane.
No, he's been great. And I also used to butt heads with him because I used to be a pretty negative Mets fan during the Wilpons era, and then the Cohens came, and I kind of changed my outset. Frank makes me look like, the most optimistic guy in the world. He's an absolute psycho and savage. But last year, when we went on that run, Frank finally stopped, and we all lived in harmony. And it was like, he's the best. He's the nicest guy when he's not, coming up with a horrible, he's going to call you Jonah wrong at some point, right? You're going to have a bad start. He's going to go, Jonah wrong, this motherfucker, get this motherfucking wrong guy.
See, the thing I kind of want to find out is gonna have this conversation with, gonna meet him, just to find out that he's gonna absolutely rip into me at some point in my career. It's kind of the fun part too.
At some point, right away, bro. But we mentioned it before that it's all comes from a place of love and passion and stuff. It really almost is for us, it's like watching a movie where you're like, I hate that guy. It's like a character, I don't hate you. I just hate what, I watched the movie tonight and the movie sucked because of this guy, which is not fair to you as humans at all. But, if it helps to disassociate it all, it's it's really not personal. It's just, we're sick of it.
Hey, trying to win World Series. I get it.
Yeah. Have you batted at all, or was the DH always a thing once you made it to the minors?
It's kind of a sore subject for hitting. I sucked. My best year was 270, and it was in grade school. Yeah, if you need a bunt, I got you.
Okay.
My last game that I've ever actively was put in the lineup to hit. I got on, I think, a walk. I got picked off, but got back safely. Next pitch, got picked off again. Got put in a rundown, safe at second. Picked off again, got safe back again. Got on base somehow again later in the game. Tagged third, thought the ball was deep in the outfield. Tagged up, scored. Come to find out that my coach is screaming at me because the ball didn't leave the infield. So I tagged up on a ball that didn't leave the infield. I'm not a fast guy by any means.
Wait, what? You thought it was deep in the outfield? It was in the infield?
Man, I thought that thing was smoked. I turned back. I just see how high it is. I'm like, oh yeah, we're good. We're going. Safe, good bad throw. But then my coach just came up to me and said, hey, let's talk about pitching. I think we're done with hitting. And I said, yeah, that's probably
go to the bullpen. Start throwing.
Hey, what happened to you?
I was pushing for that for years though. My dad always wanted me to hit, and I was just like, dude, I think pitching's the only shot I got. And the day that happened, I was kind of celebrating, but I was like, I'm gonna have to tell my dad. I don't want to hit anymore.
So you're not Ohtani. We can cross that off the list.
No, but my grandfather, I came back this offseason. He goes, Jonah, come here. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And he goes, you need to start hitting. And I'm like, oh, me? He's like, Ohtani, $700 million.
I was going to say, you saw that money.
Hitting. And I went, oh, no. I'll try. But I think that ship sailed long ago.
Well, I think that's probably true. And maybe $700 million is not in your cards. But you're probably going to be a pretty wealthy dude soon. Have you thought about money at all?
Not at all, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, okay. But let's say you get your first signing bonus, big contract, whatever you want to call it. What would be your first purchase that's not just a house or something for your family, something for you? What would you buy?
For me? Ooh. I honestly don't know. I'm pretty, I don't know if frugal is the way to go with it, but I really like basic things. If you're talking about a nice thing, probably a watch. I think it'd be really nice to have a nice watch, but other than that,
a high quality. What are you, a car guy at all?
I drive a Honda CRV. I just got it this off season, and I'm gonna be driving that thing until I'm 55.
My man, I love that. That's great.
I got mine in my driveway. It's going to my daughter once she turns 16.
Yeah.
Good man right there.
Well, the reason I asked about hitting is if you were a hitter, what would be your walk-up song? Or as a pitcher, do you have like, as a, relievers kind of have like a walkout music. Do you as a starter have any music that you play during warm-up?
Mine's Burned to the Ground by Nickelback. I'm gonna try this. I don't know, how accurate it is. I'm always gonna try to choose a Canadian artist.
Hell yeah.
Preferably rock. So okay. Nickelback was the easy one, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right, so to all the Canadian rock bands out there, make your boy Jonah a hit to get up there.
Please.
What is your biggest baseball superstition? Or if you don't like superstitions that you think is ridiculous and you make fun of?
Oh, when people wear like the same, like they don't. Who wore like the pink thong?
Jason Giambi. He had the gold thong.
See, like I'm just not for that. Like the hygiene comes over superstitions for me, like 100% of the time.
Okay.
So
do you do any of the classics, like you don't touch the line, or I guess nobody was talking to you during the perfect game because you didn't even fucking know what was happening. So there's some superstitions going on, but any of that stuff?
Superstitions, like
Or what about maybe not superstitions, but maybe like a weird routine thing you always like dress this way or wear this or eat this?
So I stopped doing that because the first part of the year when I wasn't doing as great, I was convinced that what I was wearing to the field was wrong. So I wore the same shoes, the same pair of jeans, the same black t-shirt to every single game. It wouldn't stop doing that until like I think last month when I was just like, all right, if I can't pitch well and I have to wear this for the entirety of my career, this is going to be embarrassing.
That's true. You better be careful of what you establish,
Exactly. So I've been trying to not.
Are you a fashionable guy? Do you care about clothes and stuff, or are you a basic dude?
One of our low A pitching coach used to chirp me all the time because of how bad my fashion was. But it's gone progressively better. I was wearing like a Under Armour t-shirt with like some random print swimsuit bottoms that I thought were really cool, and I would look back and I just cringe off of what I was wearing. So I'm leaving it to my girlfriend to help style me.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe that's when you get a little bit of money, you can put together some outfits for yourself.
For sure.
You've been with your girl for a long time?
6.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she the one?
High school sweethearts.
Is Kevin really dropping the
I gotta get him ready for the media.
Absolutely. I have we have a plan in motion, or it's not in motion, in mind. So it's gonna go.
Okay, listen. Gonna go with it. Love to hear that. Congratulations. On behalf of all the fans, all I ask is that if one day you want to have a family, just make sure the baby's born in the off season, because we don't need an October game and you got to go away for the baby to be born. Just plan around the game.
Well, okay? You mean what's the? I can't remember. There's a thing that came around when a bunch of all-stars were coming out and they're like, oh, we're going on the paternity list because it lined up during when they were at the AllStar Game.
Yeah,
in 22, like Trey Turner, a bunch of them. So it's just like, hey, congratulations. But I'll keep that in mind. That's a long ways away, but I'll keep that in mind.
It's on the plan. Add it to the plan. Add it to the thing you guys have.
I'll give you a couple more. I appreciate how long you've given us. Do you have any hidden talents that you do in the locker room or the dugout or anything you show off with the team? Or maybe just in regular life, doesn't have to be in the game.
Hidden talents? No. I can surprisingly eat a bowl of pho really fast, which is just noodle soup.
Would love to see that. A little mukbang, just down that shit.
I don't talk. It's just all.
All right. Have you seen this hypothetical floating around with Joey Chestnut, the hot dog eating champion? You know him?
Ooh. I know of him, but
yeah. So the idea is, could what is it, Clem? How does it work? Because Marty just tried to do it. It's eat a hot dog and then run 100 meters. So I would imagine you're athletic. You can run a little bit. Joey's pretty slow, as we just witnessed. So do you think you could, obviously he's going to hammer the hot dog quickly. Do you think you could beat him in a race where you eat the hot dog and then you run?
Probably not, because I don't think I can eat that fast. Like,
but if it was pho, you think you could?
If the thing is, like, I don't think he's human when it comes to eating. So like he would probably just down it and shotgun it somehow. But
you got wheels?
What would it have to be? No, I'm not that fast. I think
he once scored on a tag up on the infield.
I was gonna say you can't be slow.
Hey,
because of a bad throw.
Hey, you're right. So maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. Maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit there.
Okay, a couple more. You're stuck in a rain delay. What do you do to entertain the boys and kill some time?
So lately, I guess the last rain delay we played Mario Kart. So I just supply the Switch, throw it on the TV. I'm playing a lot of like just fun card games like euchre, and there's a game called Casino that we all play. But
cool.
So
if you weren't playing baseball and you had like a regular job, what do you think you would have done?
Ooh, funny enough, I'm also doing school in the off season, so I take account.
A nerd over here.
I'm a nerd, certified nerd. I probably would have been an accountant, which is
no way.
Very,
that was what I was before this. It's a terrible life. It is. It's not for me.
You were Deloitte, right, Kev? You were Deloitte.
Yeah, Deloitte and Touche was my home base. But thank God you can throw a ball, bro. Trust me on that one. Let me give you like one more here. What's your guilty pleasure? Music, movies, television, something that the boys would be like, you watch or listen to that.
Okay, all right. When you asked me what I was watching, I did avoid the question very specifically. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Phenomenal TV show. Phenomenal TV show. I will have to admit. It's okay. Really
follow-up question. Did your girl pick that and then you got into it, or you were like, I want to watch that too?
So growing up with two sisters, I have probably seen every rom-com known to man. So I do enjoy a good TV show that is a rom-com TV show.
What's your favorite?
Ooh, see, that's tough because like I'm also terrible with names, but like
you a McConaughey guy? One of his movies? One of those?
Dude, I wouldn't say I have a favorite, but I think it's called Me Before You.
Me Before You. Okay.
It's not a rom-com, sorry. That's just a sad movie.
I don't even believe in like guilty pleasures. Like if you like something, you like it. Who cares if it's a girly thing, a nerdy thing, whatever it is, just let it rip.
Kev, when I could tell he was holding back on that TV one, and I was like, you know what? Well, you're not gonna press him.
We'll let him slide.
Did I not hide that in my face while I'm out there?
Take all those emotions and put them to the bottom of your stomach when you get called up to New York. The Post will sniff it out of you, Tom.
Fucking Frank will be Jonah wrong. Watches fucking girly shows. This guy watches gay shows.
He's watching Summer I Turned Pretty.
Hey, I did try to pick the most manly show I could possibly think of. I'm like, yeah, Reacher for sure. Reacher.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Now I don't even think you watched any of those shows. I think you're at home watching.
I have watched Reacher. I've watched Reacher. It's really good.
All right, bro. You've given us a full hour here. We really appreciate that. I really wanted to, hopefully let the fans kind of realize what kind of person you are and what you're all about. I think we did a good job of that today. So I think you obviously got the talent, but now talking to you, I feel like you got a really good head on your shoulders. Seems like your family is really important to you. And there's no doubt in my mind that, as long as you stay healthy and whatever, I feel like you'll be a part of this. And like realistically, I genuinely believe you'll be a part of a World Series here in the early years of your career. Like, I just think Cohen and those guys are going to get it done, and you'll obviously be up probably, well, like you said, whenever they make the call. But I think you really will be a part of something special coming in a few years. So we'll be here for it, man.
Hey, man, I'm excited for it. I cannot wait to hear the first Frank the Tank tweet.
Yes. And that's a good way to approach it. And also, before I let you go, just know that if Frank is ranting or you're getting the bad DMs, there are probably 4 million other people who are normal and passionate and they're not going to slide in your DMs and say, I love you, like those creeps do. But we're all supporting you, even when it goes wrong. So when you lose your head, just remember that's just a small slice of the fan base.
I appreciate
All
it.
right. We appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thanks a lot.
Jonah.
Have a good
Thanks
one.
for having me. See ya.